We live in a world obsessed with the new gadgets, new trends, new foods. Don't get me wrong, I love a bit of excitement as much as the next bloke, but sometimes don't you crave something real, something that takes you back to simpler times? In the midst of all this modernity, there's a growing desire to reconnect with the past, to savor flavors that have stood the test of time. That's where old-fashioned navy bean soup, or as some call it, Capitol Hill bean soup, comes in. This isn't just any soup, it's a dish that's been bubbling away for over a century, a testament to the power of simplicity and good, honest ingredients. It's a recipe that has been passed down through generations, each adding their own touch but always staying true to its roots. Imagine a pot of soup simmering on the stove, filling the kitchen with a rich, comforting aroma. It's a scene that evokes memories of family gatherings and home-cooked meals. And guess what? This nostalgic dish is making a comeback, and I reckon it's here to stay. People are rediscovering the beauty of homemade food, the kind our grandparents swore by. There's a certain magic in recreating these old recipes. It's not just about the food, it's about the experience, the connection to our heritage, and the joy of sharing a meal made with love. This soup is a prime example. It's uncomplicated, it's packed with flavor, and it just makes you feel good. It's like a warm hug in a bowl. No fancy equipment needed, just a big pot and a bit of love. The process itself is therapeutic, a break from the hustle and bustle of daily life. There's something so satisfying about taking a few humble ingredients and transforming them into a meal that nourishes both body and soul. It's a reminder of the beauty in simplicity. Navy bean soup does just that. It's a reminder that sometimes the best things in life are the simplest. It's a dish that brings comfort and warmth, a true classic. And let's be honest, in a world that often feels a bit too fast-paced, a bowl of this soup is like a warm hug. It's a moment of peace, a taste of home, and a nod to the timeless recipes that continue to bring us together. Now, let's talk about what makes this soup so special. It's not just about the taste, but the story each ingredient tells. Don't expect a long list of fancy ingredients you can't pronounce. This recipe is all about simplicity and authenticity. This soup is all about keeping it real. It's a celebration of humble, everyday ingredients that come together to create something extraordinary. We're talking dried navy beans, the star of the show. These little beans are a powerhouse of nutrition and flavor. They're inexpensive, packed with protein, and they break down into a beautifully creamy texture. Perfect for a hearty soup. Then you've got your smoky ham bone or hock, lending its savory depth to the broth. It infuses the soup with a rich, smoky flavor. Celery, onion, and a bit of garlic form the aromatic base, adding layers of flavor that develop as the soup simmers. These vegetables are the unsung heroes. A few peeled and diced russet potatoes give the soup its hardiness, making it a meal in itself. They add a comforting, starchy goodness. And of course, you can't forget the seasoning. A good pinch of salt and pepper is essential to bring out all the flavors. A good pinch of salt and pepper is all you really need, but a sprinkle of fresh parsley at the end adds a lovely bit of freshness. It brightens up the dish. That's it. No hidden extras, no complicated techniques, just straightforward cooking. Just good, honest ingredients that shine in their simplicity. This is what makes the soup truly special. Right, Teta, are you ready to get cooking? Today we're diving into a recipe that's not just about food, but about tradition and comfort. It's a dish that has warmed hearts and homes for generations. This soup is as easy as it gets, yet it carries a depth of flavor that speaks volumes. First things first, give those navy beans a good rinse and pick out any stragglers that don't look right. This step ensures that only the best beans make it into our pot. Then, cover them with plenty of water and let them soak overnight. This soaking process is crucial as it helps to soften the beans and reduce cooking time. This helps them soften up and makes them easier to digest. You'll notice they swell up quite a bit, absorbing the water. The next day, drain the beans and toss them in a large pot with your ham bone, celery, onion, garlic, and a generous amount of water. These ingredients will meld together to create a rich, hearty broth. Bring it all to a boil, then turn down the heat, pop the lid on, and let it simmer away for a good couple of hours. This slow cooking allows the flavors to develop beautifully. Once the beans are tender, fish out the ham bone and let it cool down a bit so you can handle it. The meat will be falling off the bone, ready to be shredded. Shred the meat off the bone, discarding any excess fat, and chuck it back into the pot. This adds a wonderful smoky depth to the soup. Add your diced potatoes and season everything generously with salt and pepper. The potatoes will absorb the flavors and add a creamy texture. Let the soup bubble away for another 30 minutes or so until the potatoes are nice and soft. This final simmer ensures all the ingredients are perfectly cooked. Now for the final flourish. Stir in a handful of chopped fresh parsley just before serving. This adds a fresh, vibrant note to our comforting pot of history. Section 4, from Senate halls to family tables, a soup with a story. Now, this wouldn't be a proper recipe without a good story, right? This soup has history, mate. It's been a staple in the United States Senate dining room since 1903. Can you believe that? Over a century of warming the bellies of senators and dignitaries, legend has it that Senator Fred Du Bois of Idaho requested a bean soup for the Senate restaurant menu, and the rest, as they say, is history. It became so popular that it's been on the menu ever since, served every single day. There's even a recipe on the back of the menu so folks can recreate a taste of the Senate in their own kitchens. I love that. It just goes to show that good food really does bring people together, no matter where they're from or what they do. Section 5. A legacy of frugality, stretching ingredients into culinary treasures. This soup isn't just about good taste, it's also about making the most of what you've got. Back in the day, this was a meal that stuck to your ribs without breaking the bank. Beans are a brilliant source of protein and fiber, and they're dirt cheap, especially when you buy them dried. Adding a ham bone or hock to the pot not only adds flavor, but also stretches the meat further. It's a clever way to make a little go a long way. This soup is a reminder that you don't need fancy ingredients or elaborate techniques to create something delicious and satisfying. It's about resourcefulness, creativity, and making the most of what's available. It's a reminder that some of the most comforting meals are often the most humble. Section 6, the enduring allure of tradition, why this soup stands the test of time. So why has this simple soup stood the test of time? For me, it's about more than just the taste. It's about tradition, about connection, about a sense of comfort and nostalgia. It's a taste of history, a reminder of simpler times when families gathered around the table and shared a hearty meal together. It's a reminder that some things never go out of style. In a world that's constantly changing, there's something incredibly grounding about a bowl of navy bean soup. It's a constant, a reminder that some things are meant to endure, and that's something worth celebrating. Section 7, beyond the bold variations and modern twists on a classic. Now, I'm all about keeping things classic, but there's always room for a bit of creativity in the kitchen, right? You can totally make this soup your own. Want to add a bit of spice? Chuck in a pinch of red pepper flakes or a diced jalapeno, feeling adventurous. Swap out the ham bone for a smoked turkey leg. You can even add other veggies to the mix, like diced carrots or chopped kale. Get creative and make it your own. The beauty of this soup is that it's a blank canvas. It's a starting point for your own culinary adventures. So join the Culinary Recipe Creations channel for more videos just like this one. Now let's go, give it a try and see what you can create.